Welcome to Two Mortgage Guys podcast. I'm so excited to have you guys all back with me today. This is Jonker, and with me today I have the lovely Tiffany Cross from Dedicated Credit Repair. How you doing today, Tiff?
Hi, good. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, it is my pleasure. And honestly, I mean, in this sense, I'm the new guy on the block for you because you've been here before.
I have. I absolutely have. I love working with you guys.
Well, and honestly, as you were just talking with our branch manager Jonathan outside, it's actually you're doing us a favor because apparently last time you came, we were all the buzz in the credit repair world. So,
oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, we did a couple podcasts, had a ton of good feedback, so it's always fun to do it again.
Yeah, everyone needs a little bit of DCR in their life, right?
Absolutely.
That's great. And honestly, even the limited exposure that I've had with clients and everything, it's been such a positive experience to see how you guys work and what you guys do. But before I go too much into the accolades of that, why don't you give us a little rundown of what DCR is? I've already shortened it for you,
okay.
And what you guys do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Dedicated Credit Repair was actually started 16 years ago here in the Temecula-Murrieta Valley.
Yeah.
We are one of only 3% of all credit repair companies in the nation that's actually registered with the Department of Justice. We're vetted every single year. We have to renew that. So it's a huge privilege and an honor and then a lot of responsibility.
Yes.
But we've been in business now, operating legally and ethically and have literally helped tens of thousands of clients. And now we have a nationwide presence, not just local.
That's right. I don't know. That's a very gentle way to say that we're kind of a big deal.
We are becoming a bigger deal. How's that? Every day we try to be a bigger deal.
And I don't mind saying it for you because there's a meekness to how you deliver your spiel there. But really, that's not an easily won position to be where you are. And I think the more important thing for me, especially in the way that we represent, the way that we do business, is the ethicality behind it. Because for you to go through those routes and to represent those people, they want to know that your brand is going to be something that's ethical in a world that's not necessarily known for that.
Absolutely.
Right?
An industry, unfortunately, where the norm is to not be ethical. And it's unfortunate that we would build our reputation on just being honest.
Yeah.
It's a strange
sad, right?
philosophy, but at the end of the day, that's just who we are through and through.
Yeah.
We do not take clients we cannot help. And that's one of the things that standalone, we have a lot of people that say, well, how come we can't enroll on your website? Because we don't want you to enroll on our website until we've talked to you and given you some love and some direction.
That's awesome.
To make certain that our program's going to work well for you. And in turn, doing that, we get thousands of referrals. So it just works well.
Well, it's funny how much business integrity buys you, right?
Absolutely.
And the funny part on the back end of that is trying to find it is a very difficult thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it exactly that you guys get to do? Like, do you have any customers that you can think of on top of your head that you've been able to walk from a 560 or, why they were in those predicaments, how you got them out of there? Personally, I love kind of hearing your side of the stories for that because it's kind of taking those people that were kind of down in the dumps and they're like, oh, we can win,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons why people would have credit challenges. And I think the biggest misconception is that you're just a really bad person if you have credit hiccups. And, at the end of the day, statistically, we've done all kinds of research on who our clients are. And they're really good people where life happened.
Yeah.
If you've adulted for any length of time, it can be very difficult to maintain excellent credit when you go through a divorce or you have an unexpected death of a family member or just, the things that could happen. So, traditionally our clients, we love the clients that come to us in the low 400s, low 500s. It can be different scenario, but really the goal for most of our clients is to become homeowners. Mm-hmm. And that's what we want for our clients. And the great thing about our program and then working with clients that have had life challenges is giving them a complimentary roadmap first and foremost. Hopefully we're part of that.
Awesome.
And then we help them realize that their goal, even though they think it's years away, it's sometimes 6 months, 3 to 6 months, and they're off and going again. So we've had clients come to us, thinking that they were going to be a couple years away from buying. They walked in our office, 4 months later, they're closing escrow and home buying. So it's just pretty common that our program works really, really well for people in the low 500s who just need to reach the 640, 680 mark.
Man, there's a lot of good stuff that I want to kind of recap on real quick. The first one being kind of the imposition that we put on ourselves of having a bad credit score, right? We automatically, it's like that dog tail between the legs and you feel like you shouldn't even talk to anybody in society, it's put you as an outcast, right? And the reality is I remember my first credit card was an Amex card through Costco. I went traveling to Europe, made a huge mistake because I forgot about like the way that the dollar values and everything work, ended up in a bunch of debt and all kinds of problems. My credit will just, went down the drain.
Right.
And, I made the same mistake. I wanted to hide. I felt terrible. I didn't know what to do. And instead I sat on bad credit, which made it worse. Mm-hmm. But if I had people like you in my life, what a difference it would have made earlier on for me to set up for myself today.
Well, thank you. And, what's fun about our office is that all of our team, for the most part, have been clients. So each person, I tell them, listen, if you got free credit repair, you better show it. So I want to show before and after credit reports. And I'm a huge believer that if you have an amazing program, you should be able to pull out at a drop of a dime real life scenarios on the spot. I show my personal credit report all the time to clients because, I get asked a lot.
Yeah.
Well, how do I know you know what you're doing? That kind of thing. And they should, and they want to see, are you registered with the DOJ? Show me. And I show them. But it's so important for people that have just kind of had their head in the sand, which is a natural experience when you've gone through, financial drama, to be like, oh, I just don't know what to do. And frankly, you Google things and you get a million different answers, which is super frustrating. But we sit down with clients and go, okay, listen, this is super doable. Let's put this goal in front of you and let's walk towards it together. And 9 out of 10 times that happens within 4 to 6 months. So it's not hard to do what we do.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the important thing is it's not hard. It does take some time. Mm-hmm. And just like anything in life, if it's worth the wait, then take the time. Mm-hmm. With it, which in this particular case it is, because everything revolves around credit score nowadays, right? Like you can't get anywhere. I mean, you hear all the different kinds of financial advisement and stuff out of there, and people want you to do cash. But the reality is, even if you can do things cash, a lot of times they're still like, what's your credit score? Mm-hmm. And so you guys are there for those windows where people are like, I don't know what to do to fix this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So a couple other things that I thought was interesting that you touched along the way was kind of the value of how you guys can present certain things for free to give them that understanding and also present yourselves. I think that's an important additive that people don't understand the value of, because it automatically shows that you are not there for the dollars and cents. You're there for someone, like you said, to get into a home, to get into a future situation. And so I highly recommend you guys. And at the end of the session, we'll have handles and things for them to be able to contact you. But we preach this all the time in our occupation. Like, it's a free mortgage consultation. You're trying to commit $400,000. Take the time to get some good advice.
Absolutely.
And, Tiffany and I have spoken a few times now, and I've gotten to really appreciate the knowledge that not only does she have on hand, but in her resources. And so it would be just a very wise decision for anybody listening to this podcast. Make sure you spend some time, give her a call, because even if you think that your credit's good, so what if she can help you make it better?
Absolutely. And the money you save on interest rates to go from just good credit to excellent credit.
That's right.
I mean, it's off the charts amazing. The biggest, I guess, issue or challenge, I like to say challenge because it doesn't mean it's a problem, because problems we can overcome, right? So at the end of the day, I look at my typical client and I say, let's be proactive, not reactive. And, a couple years ago, pre-COVID, I think it's pre-COVID, I used to say, don't wait for, the end of the world or like a big natural disaster. And I think I thought I was talking about like a huge earthquake. I had no idea it was going to be like an international pandemic. Yeah. To fix your credit, you need your FICO scores, and you don't want to wait until it's too late to start working on it. A lot of people will call me and say, I'm renting and the owners are selling. I need to be out in 3 weeks. And those same people I talked to a year ago, and they did a consultation, they never moved forward with the credit repair. And now they're trying to pull a miracle that takes time. Yep. And it doesn't take a long time. And that's what I think the misconception is. Clients get immediate increases and do really well within the first 45 business days. So they do see improvement. But a lot of people need 100, 200 points. Yep. And even though that can happen in 4 to 6 months, which is still super fast, it's not overnight. So the worst thing you can do is just not do anything and then wait until it's too late and find yourself in an emergency. Yeah,
it's funny how much asking questions seems to be just a negative in people's mindsets. And it's like being dead in the water is the worst part. Like, you don't want to be sitting there thinking that there's no lifeline when there's been lifelines around you the whole time that you were just too afraid to ask about. Yeah. And, that's part of the reason we put you on the show is, our goal as the Two Mortgage Guys has always been about our community, right? And one of the things when we first talked that I loved about you was you've been all about this community. I mean, Temecula, Murrieta, the Inland Valley, you guys are just permeating the heck out of it, if I may say so. And that's a big deal to be able to see the genuineness of that and to see people that have come across and be like, oh no, you need to talk to Tiffany. You know, the DCR, they know what they're doing. They're taking care of people. And that's a tremendous thing to be a part of. And honestly, as the two mortgage guys getting to have you on here, you know, that's representing them. I want to say thank you on behalf of us for you even coming today, because I know your time is precious, and you have a lot of people that would love to seek an audience with you, and you're here over here with us.
That is so sweet to say, and I'm humbled that you guys invited me back. So thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of touched on the community stuff since we went through there. I've been like waiting to get to this part of the conversation because I'm super excited about it. I have a ton of friends that are current veterans. We have guys in the office that are veterans. Scott, who you shook the hands of earlier, is a vet. Willie, my partner, is a vet. Chris Brand is a vet. So we have all these guys that have served. I have friends that have lost their like appendages in war. I've had friends that have lost their lives. And you had a really amazing opportunity recently. Would you mind expressing what that is?
Absolutely. It was wonderful. You know, a couple years ago, I was invited to fly all across the world to Okinawa and provide just an amazing opportunity for us and, of course, the people that we represented. But we basically went and spoke about credit. This, you know, system that we all live and die by called the FICO score. And I was able to educate you know, the military over in Okinawa. And that opportunity just a couple weeks ago lent itself to me doing the same thing here at Camp Pendleton locally. And so I was there, I think 4 straight days in a row, 6 different sessions, you know, 300 Marines, being able to sit and teach them the things that frankly none of us get educated on in high school, unfortunately, or college. And there were so many good questions, so many relevant opportunities to give them just good, amazing education. And it was such an honor, such an honor. Yeah,
that is. I mean, it like just even getting to see someone like the photos that you're posting online and things about it just give me like chills. Like I'm so excited about it because I've had, like I said, so many friends in that, and just like anybody else, I've had so many people tell me, man, I really wish in high school they had given us a class that basically gave us real world, you know, and that's what you're doing. It's like everybody thinks, okay, this is about credit repair, which it is. But what you're offering in your services is all those real world education courses that people wish they had.
Absolutely. You know, and these Marines, women and men over serving and, you know, coming back from deployment and, you know, not knowing, you know, hey, should I pay off my motorcycle? Should I pay off my car? What credit cards should I use? I've got a Navy Federal Credit Union account. And when I was gone on deployment, this happened. You know, just having access to the right answers. It's the least we can do for our military. I think our kids in general, and they are kids, by the way. As I get older, the younger they look.
I know, right? It's crazy.
They're little kids.
Sometimes I'm surprised. I'm like, you're wearing that for Halloween, right?
I know. Bless their hearts. And, you know, to your comment, I dated a Navy SEAL in high school, or not high school, in college for years.
I didn't know that.
And then he actually passed away about 2 years ago now, 2018. So it's been longer than that now, 2018. And he in Syria, and he means the world to me. And so I always said, whatever I could do to help the military. I have such a huge heart, not only, you know, for every branch, but it's such an important thing to grow a business serving others, whether it be military or any other audience. Of course, that's our passion. And you mentioned that locally and frankly anywhere worldwide now. I can say that now being in Japan again.
I know, right? But international DCR.
Yes, we are international.
Man, that's awesome. Again, you're pulling on my heartstrings. You're just saying all the right things that make me excited about doing what we do for our job, right? Because in the end of the day, we do our 9 to 5s or whatever really in our job, it's much more than 9 to 5. But we do what we do for our responsibilities. But when we get to take a look and take a step back and say, how can I, and use the word servant, right? How can I be a servant leadership, or how can I be a servant to my community in a way that it's given to me? Or that the people that have defended this liberty that I have, how can I serve them? And that's something that I think that we lose a lot in society because when you have freedom, it's hard to understand the price. But to those of us who have experienced the loss and the service of other people, to be able to give in any capacity is just a tremendous feeling.
Absolutely. I love that you just said that. You know, I was just the other day driving, and I literally felt the download of, you know, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Oh, good.
You know, and I think at the end of the day, you know, it is an honor to serve others, and always the giver's gain mentality works in all things for us. And I know for us, you know, there's been times early on, you know, 15 years ago when we started DCR, I remember not being able to afford to print business cards.
Yep. Absolutely.
You're starting a business, you're like, oh, hand it to somebody and they wouldn't necessarily put it in their pocket. I'm like, grab that out of the trash can,
Yeah.
It's 30 cents, Starting from that to where we are now, it is, again, I don't take any of it for granted, and it's all based on a service-minded heart. And then with that comes reward, right? So we are, shared, and we prosper in things when we do the right thing. So that's really the heart of our business.
And I like where you just touched too, because there's a lot of people out there. I'm one of those people that traveled this distance, and I've heard your story. You've definitely been there, but that are trying to start things on their own. Want to live that American dream. They want to start a business. They want to be their own boss, and trying to find the starting point is like a needle in the haystack sometimes, right? Well, let Tiffany be your starting point. She's walked the walk. She's talked the talk. She's come from nothing. She's gotten everything. She's seen it all happen up and down. And, those are the kinds of financial guidings that you should be looking for. And instead of spending your money on $600 coaching session that may or may not be what you need, why not talk to somebody that's got the real life, that's brought people from rags to potentially comfort, to maybe riches. I mean, I can't speak for your own testimonials, but I'm pretty sure that's happened. And, so why not speak to somebody that can do that for you and give you that missing step that you were looking for to start?
Absolutely. Yesterday I had a kind of a funny, not so funny situation where a client called and she's like, how am I doing in the program? Am I almost done? And I thought, it's a pretty common question.
Sure.
So I logged into her back office portal to see exactly where she was, and she enrolled 3 weeks ago. And I thought, so I looked to see how many things she had on her credit, and it was like 30 derogatory items, bankruptcy included, all kinds of things.
Sure.
And I thought, this is kind of like the philosophy of joining a gym, walking in and saying, listen, I need to lose 50 pounds and I need it gone by next week. Can you do that for me?
That's a great analogy.
No,
Yeah.
But you joined the gym, do the work. It doesn't take long. And if you listen to someone who knows what they're doing, our program is literally amazing. I would put my little kids on it, and I love my babies. But I'm telling you, our program works miracles. But it does take the trust, it takes the action step, and the small, short investment time of just 3 to 6 months to really focus on it. But it's not going to happen in a week. It's not going to happen in 3 weeks. I wish it could.
Yeah.
And trust me, one day we'll hopefully get it to that point.
Sure.
But it's just, like you said, taking the steps, going to the right resource, and then trusting the process.
And I can tell you this, guys, I've looked for other credit repairs before I ran into Tiffany, which is crazy that I didn't run into her first with how renowned you are. But I've done other ones. And the reason that we ran into each other is because I said, no way am I touching these guys. Because they did want the 1 week wonders, and they were trying to promise things that, when you look at the way the system works, it doesn't work that way. Like, if someone had lost 100 pounds in a week, like you're saying, and I looked in I lost 100 pounds, they said I did it in a week, I'd be like, I'm sorry, I don't believe
What are you doing?
Yeah, that's not exact. I'm like, I don't want to know what you did, because it's probably going to cost me too much money, or
illegal.
Yeah, legal, long-term bad. Exactly, and that's the problem is people. You got to understand. Not only are we setting you up for your future, we're also making sure you don't ruin it by putting it into some illegal hands.
Yeah, absolutely, and it happens all the time. I've got tons of people that what, this credit repair guy with quotations, met with me at Starbucks, took my money, never heard back. Well, obviously that is a disaster. And then of course the good guys in the industry, or the good girls or women in the industry, have to work twice as hard, and understandably, to earn the trust. And so that's where we come in.
Yeah, not only do they come in and do a better job, but from what I've seen, I'm not going to do all the price quotes here, but price comparison wise, they usually beat everybody out anyways.
Yeah, we're super affordable.
Yeah, so you're getting a better cost, you're getting more help, you're getting legal help, and your future set up for not just you, but your spouse and potentially your kids.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't you want to, put that bet on your future? It's not even a bet at that point. It's
a guarantee.
It's a guarantee.
Technically that word's an icky word in our industry, but it really is something that, all of us need.
Yep.
I love Dave Ramsey. I love Susie Orman a little less than I love Dave Ramsey.
Sure.
But I believe in a lot of the philosophy that truly, as Americans, nobody wants to be in debt. Nobody wants to be so in debt, at least, that you're running in a financial hamster wheel without any end in sight.
Yep.
And I get that. And there is a way to have amazing FICO scores and carry very manageable debt.
Yeah.
You can blend it and marry it so that you're, maybe right now we're focusing on the FICO score, and the FICO score, quite frankly, is not designed to play well in the sandbox with financial coaching.
Nope.
It just isn't. The FICO score is 100% in favor of lending institutions.
Yep.
And if we were all debt free and paid off our mortgages, we'd have, nobody would be making any money. Lending institutions wouldn't be in business.
Yep.
So we really teach clients to be laser focused on the today goal, the tomorrow goal, the next month goal, so that we can say, listen, it's not going to be always the same goal. And you need to know which path to follow in order to accomplish that. And that's really where we focus.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because, even I've listened to Dave Ramsey a ton, and you get the idea with the snowball debt effect, and there's a lot of value to it, sure.
Absolutely.
But the reality is the government, the lending institutions, the places that you need to buy your big home purchases, they're not going off of Dave Ramsey's model.
No, and you know what? If you live in California and you come in with $700,000 cash, you're still going to have to tell where that came from.
Yep.
You're still going to, and very few people are going to have $700,000 cash to buy their dream home, right? So we got to have both, and it's super important.
No, yeah. I mean, if they had $700,000 cash, they probably wouldn't be listening to Ramsey to begin with.
Right. Or calling dedicated credit repair maybe sometimes.
Right.
But I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. But, and honestly, that's kind of the beauty of again, the system that you guys have set up and the honesty with which you have. It's like, we're being real with you. We're like, yeah, there's ideal circumstances, but the majority of the people are not in the ideal. And we want to be here for the not ideal circumstance people.
Absolutely.
They already feel left behind. Why shouldn't somebody come help and pick them up?
Absolutely. And this real estate market is so crazy right now. And, I was just walking and saying, a lot of times credit challenge clients are like, you know what? I don't have $100,000 over asking.
That's right.
So I'm going to just not do anything.
Yep.
Again, really toxic mindset because this isn't going to last forever. The last thing you want to do is wait and then be in the back of the bus or the behind, the back of the line when it changes and you're ready to rock and roll. You need to be ready now. If you're renting, same thing happened to my client.
Yep.
People are selling the houses that right underneath you. If you're renting it and it goes for sale, what are you going to do? You need your credit to rent too.
That's right.
So it's just so important to be proactive.
Yeah, and it's funny because this is like probably one of the most timely messages we could be passing people with COVID and the way things have been, right? I mean, there's been a lot of stimulus checks and a lot of things to try to help people on their feet, but you're not doing anything if you're just spending it or hoping to make your next mortgage payment. If your next rent check payment, if your credit is still hurting, use some of that money, use your time where it needs to be spent. So that way, when you're anticipating to get in that house, when the mortgage is going to where you want it in the real estate world and all these offer issues that you've been hearing in the housing bubble and all these things that you're afraid of, instead of letting that make you into paralysis, get into something that's going to be active for you. So when things get to where you think are ideal, because everybody seems to have their own magic idea of what that is, have yourself set up. It's just like you were saying with the gym. Like, we don't necessarily get fit because there's an ideal circumstance that we're going to have to, go run over a mountain. We do it because we realize it helps our bodies get better, right? And there's an ideal circumstance later that we're going to need it for.
Right, absolutely. And that's what we talk about. So I teach a class called FICO Fitness.
There you go.
Right there, being FICO healthy, right? And I do that, by the way, regarding the community service. That's something I do for free for high school aged kids.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I do that once a month. It's called FICO Fitness. It's via Zoom right now. But I get like 20, 30 students on there and they're so cute and they ask all the right things. And it's just such a great opportunity for me to give back, and so that's something that I really believe in. I also go into the junior colleges locally and teach that same thing. So into the finance classes and things like that. So I'm all in on our community being FICO Fit.
Hey, the more you know, right? And honestly, parents, I hope you're listening to that because most of the people that we have on here have had kids or have some young one that they care about. I mean, I can tell you right now, my parents put that in my lap as a kid. I actually, in high school, would have jumped at it, especially because parents are great, right? They always try to do all the important things moral, ethically. But a lot of times the things where we fall short are things like that, where it comes to the finances and how to handle your cash, because you're so worried about making them a decent citizen that you forget that that's part of it.
Absolutely.
And so the other part of it is, too, you get parents that are nervous because their kids may not listen to them about this stuff. So give them a class where it's free, where they're going to listen because this person's a professional, and then you're already equipping your kids in a different way that was much easier for you to begin with.
Absolutely. And it's funny about that you said that is I'll be teaching these little Zoom classes that are not so little right now, actually. And you'll see mom and dad walking by, going, wait, what? Listening. Because, again, none of us were taught.
That's right.
And I don't know that that's necessarily unintentional either, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah. Honestly, that would be a fun one. Well, I hope that's a promise. It means you're going to come back.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, then that'll be a fun topic because I like getting into that wheelhouse of thought.
Conspiracy theories by Tiffany.
Oh, yeah. And is it really conspiracy?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm right there with you, so we could do that all day long. But yeah, so is there anything as far as like offers or ideas or future things that you want to tell people about? Maybe anything that you could kind of whet their palate even more to be like, yeah, this is why we want DCR.
Absolutely. So again, we're registered with the DOJ. We have literally helped tens of thousands of clients do exactly what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, if you're at home or wherever you are and you're listening to this, you're my person. So call the office. We do have a $50 off coupon right now for summer, which we are we're loving to offer that right now because people are like, oh, okay, then that'll, I'll jump on it. Yeah. So, the enrollment, by the way, even without the coupon is only $199.
That's not bad. That's nothing.
So right now there would be $149 to get started. That's it. And then the monthly fee begins month 2 because the law requires that we bill in arrears. It's $99 a month. If you're in the program, 4 to 6 months, you're looking anywhere from $300 to $600 to fix your entire FICO life. Yep. So it is very affordable. It's a pay-as-you-go program. I do want to mention, though, that one of the best parts of my program that I believe is that our clients get 24/7 tracking to log into our secure portal. It's a state-of-the-art website, very secure, where they can see every account that's in dispute for deletion, what their real-time percentage of success is, exactly what we're doing, when we're doing it. It's very accountable, very transparent. And our clients love that. They log in pretty much 24/7 trying to see where they're at. So it's definitely a science.
Yeah, if you were doubting whether or not she was telling the truth, what credit company tells you, look at what we're doing all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, I am a communicator to the max, and I love to know what's going on. And so for me to have that window where I can constantly be like, oh, it's there. Oh, it's there. Oh, it's there. I'm one of those people that need that, And so it is a valuable asset to have and not one that's offered frequently.
Yeah, absolutely. And that way you can see exactly what you're paying for and what we're doing.
Yeah, and honestly, guys, I know everyone always freaks out when the dollar signs come. I mean, we could have told you it was 99 cents and someone would have still had a reason to be upset. And here's the thing, you really have to start thinking that this is your future we're talking about. Your future is invaluable because that couple $100 that you're paying right now, if it's saving you $400,000 in a loan for something, or getting you into that home as opposed to losing it in the last end of the escrow because they find out that you didn't have the credit score, the FICO didn't match up, whatever. This is what you want so you don't have those stressful moments later in life.
Absolutely. And more jobs are requiring credit checks.
That's
Insurance companies are requiring credit checks. It's just part of the new normal.
Yep. Well, and more than ever, you mentioned renting earlier. I mean, renting is incredibly competitive right now. And I mean, people are putting up 12, 13 months worth of rent and they're still missing because if the FICO score doesn't come up right, and they're like, but dang, I should have talked to Tiffany 12 months ago,
Absolutely. And that's the thing is that if you have 30-day late, 60-day late, collections, charge-offs, foreclosures, but those things can legally and ethically, I want to mention.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can get those things deleted. Bankruptcies too. It's just knowing the state and federal credit laws that pertain to consumers and their rights to dispute and challenge information. And that's what we do. We do it for you so that you don't have to do it wrong and take twice as long to do it.
That's a huge and fantastic truth bomb, may I add, because there's so many times where, especially just an example in our industry, you'll hear something on a loan 2%, on mortgage rates, and it's but they're not telling you how much you have to pay into your loan and discount points. But when you're saying no, there are legal and ethical things that part of the process of the prices that we already quoted that are not tacked on to anything extra.
Exactly.
There's no asterisk. These things can change because those are the things that usually cause people to be ashamed in the first place because they look at, I have this, I'm so ashamed of my lates. I'm ashamed of my BK. I'm ashamed of all of this stuff that's on my file. And you're like, no. There is such thing as getting you back to a clean slate.
Absolutely. And it's have you ever, I don't know, a lot of people will get dental work done or they'll wait until literally their teeth hurt so bad they can't see straight before they'll go to the dentist.
Right.
And they go, it's 25 minutes later, why have I been living with this pain for 3 years? You get root canals or whatever. And people are oh my God, I was so scared to go. I did not want to go to the dentist. They leave 30 minutes later feeling like an entirely different person. And that's truly what we do. We make people remove the pain because it's really possible in a short period of time. People always say, I cannot believe I waited so long.
Yeah. And I can echo that for you. I mean, even just recently, Jose, who I linked up with you guys, he's a buddy of mine, and he was so excited. And the first thing he said, he was like, man, for the service that they're providing to set me up for my future, this is nothing. I'm so excited. So I can tell you forthright that, guys, this isn't just there's no picture. This isn't something that I'm getting something from. I'm trying to get you into a valuable service that I think is good for you.
Thank you.
It's like telling somebody eat your vegetables and your fruit. I'm giving you a good advice supplement to making life healthier for you.
Yes, very good. Absolutely.
All right. Well, Tiffany, as always, it has been a tremendous pleasure to have you around. You're just a joy to be around, and honestly, that's evident by the people that you surround yourself with.
Oh, thank you.
And to be able to be in that circle at all is a huge compliment for us. And we're such just completely enthralled to have you as part of the Two Mortgage Guys vision and where we're going. And we're excited to be where you're going because I've gotten to hear a lot of your tenure, as we talked in our coffee, just how we're 10-year people. We're always making 10-year plans, right?
Absolutely. And I appreciate so much. Like I said at the beginning, I'm so humbled always for the opportunity, and I love working with you guys.
Yes.
So thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Well, this is the time where I'm going to stare right here at the camera. I'm going to go like this and make James have to work for his money because he's going to figure out where he wants to put the handle to make somebody contact you. But there's going to be all kinds of information for Tiffany, anything that she's mentioned, that links, numbers. We're going to have it all there for you to be able to find. Anything that you need from Two Mortgage Guys, of course, will be linked as well. But please, if you have any questions whatsoever, if you're on the fence, obviously we love to talk to people. We're doing it for a free service. There's no catch on that side of things. At least come and talk to us. What's the worst that can happen? You don't want it to service, you walk away. The best thing that happens, your life could be changed. So that sounds a little bit maybe dramatic, but it's not. And I promise you it's as good as it sounds, maybe even better. So come look us up at the Two Mortgage Guys. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thanks again.
Yeah, absolutely.